jumper is complete. It is going to hang up for a little bit longer than 24 hours. I'm going to let it hang probably for 2 days, because even though it is the length that we agreed upon, Jessica has decided that she kind of wants it a little bit longer, and that's fine. And I can even, you know, make my hem tiny. This fabric, this isn't the jumper, this is leftover fabric, but this fabric is so easy to turn under and do a tiny little hem that I don't need to worry that I won't be able to get as much length out of it as I can. She came by, she had gone out to ride her horse, and she just was driving by, and she stopped in to see it because I told her it was ready. And of course she tried it on and she loves it, which is so gratifying. I am thrilled to death. She also feels, without my input, I think, I don't remember if we discussed it or not, but her words were, it just has so much structure, and it has kind of a 60s vibe. So it's hanging up on a kind of a hanger over on the other side of the room. So I'm going to, I think, try to, oh, I'll be right back. I have biscuits in the oven and the timer's beeping. Well, my plan was to try to swing the camera around so that you guys could see it, but I can't do that, so I'm going to take a picture of it hanging up, and then we'll get pictures when it's hemmed and everything is ready. I will insert this picture that I just took in here somewhere so that you can see it. And the next one, of course, is for Candace. It is the Easy Stitch and Save by McCall's, and we'll be starting on that in the next couple of days. Okay guys, so this is the next day, but I wanted to go ahead and get this video ready to edit. So I'm going to be working on Candace's jumper coming up, and remember, this is her fabric, this beautiful blue quilting cotton that has a kind of a toile print. It reminds me of Blue Willow China with the silver highlights. I think it'll be really cute, and I hope that it goes together as quickly and I have as much fun doing it as I did with the video that I just finished for Jessica. I think it will be, I believe it's almost an identical jumper construction. So it's really probably going to be about the same. We did this for Jessica, and with the shoulder straps, the little scoop neck, the seam down the front, it all looks basically the same. It's just a different pattern number with a different style on the front. I've drawn this line right here. I hope it's visible. It's visible to me. It's not smearing on my hands. I may end up just using a black one. This was a silver Sharpie to help me stay, you know, in frame. So I'm going to do a little experiment and check to see if the black will smear after it dries, which, as we all know, Sharpies dry pretty quick. Yep, I'm not getting any on my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and redraw this line. I tried using a piece of ribbon and it just kept, you know, getting in the way. Try it with a piece of cabbage. I have some white. Nothing. Okay, that's good. So today I am going to cut out this pattern right here. I've got some measurements that I need to check against the pattern measurements. So I have the pattern pieces are all cut out. Everything is set over here for ready to go. And I'm going to choose either thread from here or thread from my regular thread stash. So this obviously is a little bit too teal. I think this might be the one right here. This is clearly too teal, and that might be, this might be a good one for the top stitching on the front. Let's just take a look and see. Okay, perfect. So I think I don't see any other thread other than maybe this one. I think these might be the same color. 276 and 227. So there is, this is slightly lighter. So for, and they are, so this is polyester. It feels like a great construction thread. This is polyester and also has that lovely construction feel, as does this. But I wouldn't use this for the construction. I feel like it'd be too dark. Okay. So the next thing is to decide between these two. This one it is. I'm going to guess that it's basically the same. I'm going to be making view B for Candace. She did decide on the shorter version. So view B is cut in such an interesting way. We will open out the fabric and fold it so that we have selvages Well, this was a total failure. This pattern, this fabric, this whole project. This is the new pattern fabric, etc., that will take its place. Oh, button is loose. So here's the situation. I want to go over this so that you guys will know what happened. This is a wearable. If I finish it, this strap right here needs to be done. It's wearable. However, it's not up to my standards, and I'm not going to let this one be the final project. But I want to talk about why it's kind of messed up. So in this instruction sheet for this pattern, the Easy Stitch and Save by McCall's, number 9438, size A, which is 6 through 12, and was printed in 1996. There is no mention at all on the outer part of this pattern or on the instruction sheet that View B is not suitable for one-way designs. It is completely not suitable, and I'll show you why. And it's the previous little bit of video. This is where I was, right here, when I suddenly realized not going to work. The reason that's not going to work is because Piece number 1 is the front of the jumper, and you cut 2. Piece number 2 is the back of the jumper, and you cut 2. Now if you have a one-way design, the design will be running either this way, or this way, or this way, or this way, depending on how you have laid out your fabric for view B. No matter how you do it, if you have a one-way design fabric, piece number 1 will be upside down to piece number 2. What I did is I had to draw a mock-up using fabric or using paper and tape. So I just kind of crudely drew a design on some paper that would give me the idea that this is the top of my design. So we'll pretend that these are legs and this is the head of a bird, and when I was drawing it they were all facing up. So the head of the bird would be here and the little legs would be here. And that was that one, and then this was this one. And because these pieces had to be cut at a 60-degree angle based on the pattern pieces that you can see, that line right there is the grain line. So it would be correctly placed like so, which is why we have to put our pattern pieces on our fabric like this. So I drew these onto my little crude drawings of the fabric, and I knew that I wanted, this is piece number 2, right side up, and that's the pattern piece. The pattern piece itself was right side up. In order to achieve the proper piece number 1, I had to draw it right side down. So I had to flip it over in order to get my fabric to even remotely work. So my little guide helped me in that regard. And I will now show you what that turned out to look like. So if this is, let me look for it. There's a little, okay. There's this little design right here. You can see would be right side up. There are birds in the drawing, the fabric. There's one right there, right side up. But when we look at this dress now, this is the front right here. And due to the way the fabric had to be placed, or the pattern had to be placed on the fabric, you can see some of our little temples are going this direction, some are going this direction. This bird appears to be okay, but this bird is like looking skyward. So that's the front, and then we'll flip over the back. Now, you know, from a distance, it's really, that's fine, right? That's not really that bad. It's totally okay. And this bird, he's facing skyward, and I think there was, this bird is fine, but this temple is kind of off center. The flowers look okay, the rocks look okay, and as I pointed out, from a distance, this is just a pretty design. Look at the massive difference between piece 1 and piece 2. When you cut the shorter version, it is literally 3 1/8 inches. Alright, the other thing I want to point out is because this is cut at that weird wonky 60-degree angle, it's not a 45-degree angle. It's a weird, an angle that most of us don't see very often. I mean, it's out there, but it's rare. The shoulders, especially on the front, because of the, I think because of the way it's been flipped around, there's a huge, I don't know what to call that, a bubble, I guess, in the fabric that even if I use my ham to press it out, it forces the facing to come out. And then if you put the facing back down, the wrinkle reappears. So this is going to go to Candace in this manner, because I feel like if I don't stitch anymore, she'll be able to deconstruct and use this gorgeous fabric for another project. And of course, all of the additional pieces that I had left over, she'll also be able to use. So I love this fabric. It's very pretty, and I think I feel like it deserves to be, you know, resurrected and used in some capacity. But that is why I decided that I mean, this is a challenge. I'm calling it the jumper challenge. I've made one. This is the second one in the challenge, and this particular pattern is not something that I would try with a print fabric. I'm not even sure that I would try view B with a solid fabric. I would like to try view A, because the way you cut view A is perfectly normal. This is not going to create any problems, and I think it would be really pretty made in a moleskin or a wool, maybe even a flannel, you know, for fall. Something to think about. Alright, so there is that. Knowing that I'm not going to make this one, and knowing that I wasn't going to finish it the other day, I went back to Joann Fabric and sent Candace a few pictures. We finally settled on this jumper, which I think is absolutely adorable and has so many possibilities. I will say, I've looked at it, and I'm a bit concerned about one thing. There is supposed to be some sort of information right here that tells you pattern printed side down, pattern printed side up, and how to cut out what you're looking at. They do provide you up here with an email. They have a phone number, they have a website, and they have an email address right there at the top on the pattern. So I'm going to do an email. We'll see. See what happens. But that is where I am in the moment with the new pattern, which is a New Look 6340, and we're doing view A, this one right here. So really cute. It has pockets on the front and has this cute little cutout V-neck, and then the back, you tie it in the back, which I think is super cute. Let me get it where you can see it. There we go. Right there. Alright, and then it has this little loop button at the top, you know, at the neck, on the back, and I chose to go with the clear acrylic. I have a piece of elastic cord, and that is pretty much it as far as notions go. I am going to pre-wash this fabric. This is fabric that she chose. It's gorgeous. I will give you a close-up look. Beautiful. Kind of pale blue, dark blue. Looks like even just a bit of a seafoam blue maybe, and some white. It's really pretty. Peony blossoms, I believe. Alright, so I'm going to go finish up that editing, and then we're going to get this washed and start on this. I will be going out of town next Monday, August the 30th. Tomorrow is the 23rd Monday of August 2021. So I have a week to take this dress to her, and that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So I'll just go ahead and say I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really hoping that if you are doing this pattern, if you have any information about how you made this, please drop it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.